Hey, God bless everyone. My name is Nick Zamorano, and I'm going to be presenting on the Ur-Isin king list. This is an artifact that plays a contribution to a much larger ancient record, which is known as the Sumerian king list, which I'm going to expound upon further in a moment. The Ur-Isin king list is a clay tablet that has 21 lines of Old Babylonian cuneiform script. The artifact is dated back to 1813 BC. The inscriptions reveal a list of kings that reigned in the 3rd dynasty of Ur, as well as kings that reigned in the 1st dynasty of Isin. Now, the first king mentioned is Ur-Nammu in 2112 BC, and the list ends with Damik-Ilishu in 1813 BC. So why is this significant? Its place of origin sheds more light on the biblical geography. It was discovered in modern-day Iraq, which was ancient Babylon at one point. It contributes to a much bigger picture of the kings and the long history of that region, beginning with the Sumerian civilization. Now remember that the Sumerians were an ancient civilization that lived in the southern part of Mesopotamia between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Their civilization is recognized to be the first, even coming before the Egyptian civilization. Later, this region became Babylon and now modern-day Iraq, like I mentioned earlier. There have been other findings or lists, such as the one described earlier, that contribute to what is known as the Sumerian king list. The Sumerian king list is an ancient record of kings from this particular region. It includes the names of the kings, the cities where they were, and then the duration of their reign. Now, what is very interesting is that the king list has many similarities to the Genesis account of chapter 5 through chapter 11, when it speaks of genealogies and the great flood that came upon the earth. The king list begins with indicating when kingship was lowered from heaven, and then it gives the names of the kings and their regnal duration, which is interestingly long. As an example, a king named En-Menlu-Ana is mentioned, and his reign was supposedly 43,200 years. And of course we know that in Genesis chapter 5, that account of genealogy, humans appeared to live much longer than today's average lifespan. But nowhere do we see this long of a lifespan, being 43,200 years. So there are several views on what these large years of rule actually mean. Some believe that it's completely artificial. Some believe that indeed these kings ruled for that long of a time frame. Some believe that the number of years doesn't quite mean years, but is referring more to that king's importance or his triumph. And then there are some, also through a process of mathematical interpretation, they've tried to come up with a different outcome or answer to the long reigns of these kings. Another interesting piece of information pertaining to the Sumerian king list is that it refers to a great flood. Once the kings are mentioned after the flood, their time frame of reigning gets significantly shorter. This is very interesting because in Genesis chapter 11, a post-Diluvian genealogy is presented and people have shorter lifespans. So in conclusion, though these findings continue to cause scholars and archaeologists to research further, items like the Ur-Isin king list and the Sumerian king list are more confirming artifacts and ancient texts that the Bible is indeed accurate. It truly is about real people with real situations in real places. God bless you.